Welcome back to Accreditation Unlocked, the podcast where we open the doors to practical strategies, tools, and insights to help your institution succeed in the ever-evolving world of accreditation. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Clow, and today we're diving into one of my favorite topics, streamlining documentation. If you've ever found yourself hunting down evidence from multiple departments, duplicating reports, or wondering if you've already written this section somewhere else, this episode is for you. We're talking about the smart, strategic approach of document once, use often. It's all about making your documentation process more efficient by aligning your efforts across accreditation, strategic planning, and annual reporting, so you're not remaking the wheel every time a new report is due. The problem: duplication, disconnection, and document fatigue. Institutions often treat accreditation, strategic planning, and compliance reporting as separate efforts. This results in duplicated work, inconsistent data, and unnecessary stress. Faculty submit assessment data, then they're asked for similar information for annual program reviews. Meanwhile, institutional effectiveness teams gather overlapping data for strategic planning updates, and then the accreditation team asks for yet another version of the same content for a self-study report. Sound familiar? It's inefficient, and worse, it's exhausting. But what if there's a better way? The solution is document once, use often. This approach involves collecting information in a way that makes it usable for multiple purposes, from assessment to accreditation to compliance. It means capturing data with purpose and foresight, designing templates and reporting structures with alignment in mind, using shared language, metrics, and formatting, and centralizing documentation in a well-organized, accessible repository. But one of the most powerful tools you can use to bring this all together is what I call an Accreditation and Regulatory Matrix. The Accreditation and Regulatory Matrix is your alignment superpower. An Accreditation and Regulatory Matrix is a living document or digital tool that maps out all of the requirements your institution must meet, not just for one accreditor, but across all your accreditors, regulatory bodies, and internal accounting structures. Here's how it works. You list each standard, criterion, or requirement from every accreditor, state agency, or regulatory body your institution answers to. Then you group and cross-reference similar or overlapping requirements. For example, you may find that your regional accreditor, your programmatic accreditor, and your state education department all require evidence of student learning outcomes assessment. Then align documentation efforts accordingly so that one set of evidence can satisfy multiple requirements. This matrix becomes a blueprint for smart evidence collection. It answers questions like, what do we really need to document? Where are the overlaps? What types of evidence can meet multiple standards? Who is responsible for collecting and updating that evidence? Once built, the matrix reduces redundancy, enhances consistency, and helps teams work smarter, not harder. Building a matrix and putting it to work. Creating this kind of matrix doesn't have to be overwhelming. Start simple. Number 1, list all your accrediting and regulatory bodies. Think institution-wide accreditors, programmatic accreditors, state licensing boards, and federal requirements like Title IV. Number 2, pull all their standards or reporting requirements. Create a spreadsheet or table with each requirement listed by agency. Number 3, identify overlap. Use color coding, tags, or a shared key to group similar requirements like outcomes assessment, governance, faculty credentials, or resource planning. Number 4, link each requirement to evidence. What documents or data fulfill this requirement? Where do they live? Who maintains them? And number 5, update it regularly. Accreditation standards evolve. Regulations shift. Make your matrix a living tool, not a one-time project. Pair this with a centralized evidence repository or SharePoint system, and your team will be able to find the right documentation for the right purpose at the right time. Benefits you'll see. By integrating a matrix-driven strategy into your document once, use often approach, you'll see major benefits. Less duplication of faculty and staff efforts, faster accreditation report preparation, greater consistency across institutional messaging, easier onboarding of new staff and committee members, and stronger alignment between compliance and strategic goals. And here's a bonus. When reviewers, whether internal or external, see that your institution has clear, intentional documentation processes in place, it builds confidence in your processes and in your people. Getting started this month. If you're ready to start shifting to this model, here are a few action steps you can take today. Identify someone or a small team to lead the matrix building project. Start by mapping just one area, like assessment of student learning. Choose a documentation platform that's accessible, secure, and searchable. Encourage department chairs and program coordinators to use existing reports more strategically. Think, who else might need this data? Over time, as this approach takes root, documentation becomes less of a burden and more of a shared asset. Some final thoughts. Accreditation, strategic planning, and compliance don't have to live in silos. By aligning your documentation efforts and building tools like an Accreditation and Regulatory Matrix, your institution can save time, reduce confusion, and focus more energy on what really matters: student success and institutional excellence. Thanks for tuning into this episode of Accreditation Unlocked. If you found today's discussion helpful, subscribe and share it with your colleagues. And don't forget to check out accreditationcollaborative.com for more resources, tools, and support. And remember, when you document with intention, you empower your institution to rise to the occasion. This has been Dr. Ken Clow with the Accreditation Collaborative. Until next time, keep striving for excellence in education.